Hi, Sarah Banas here, Spectrum Weavers. I am going to show you today how to make a watercolor HTV iron-on design in Silhouette Studio. Now, if you sublimate or you use a white toner printer or something to that effect, you can also use the same technique. But this, obviously, if you use those, one of those two techniques, you already can do, watercolor backgrounds and things to that effect. This will just teach you how to use the background. This is specifically for people, though, who to use, CRICUT or Silhouette or Scan and Cut, where you can actually use HTV to get the watercolor effect. It's super pretty, super easy. So let's get started. Before we go any further, though, if this video is something that's helpful to you, like the video, but also subscribe to my channel. You'll get a notification of all the new videos when they come out, probably once a week or so. Just lots of neat ways that you can design for yourself and make, neat projects with your silhouette that, maybe you wouldn't have thought of to do, prior to the video. So subscribe to my channel, you'll get all the notifications. So let's go ahead and get started. This is super easy, super fast. So you can see I've already done my text work. This is the Zentangle we're going to use. I'll link both of these in the description. This Dragonfly, it's in a set of 4. It's one of my absolute favorite designers of this type of design. It's not expensive at all. And I'll link that in the description, but I'll also link this font. This font is called the Glisten. It's one of my most used fonts. It's actually in a bundle right now by the font designer, and it comes with 55 of his best fonts, super duper cheap. And also, as of the time of this video right now, not only is it super cheap, but it's 50% off also, so it's only $5 for the entire bundle. They all include a commercial use license. I'll link that in the description. One of my absolute most used fonts. You absolutely should get it. It's a fantastic font. So, that all being said, let's go ahead and get started. We'll move this out of the way. And so this is all already made into a single layer. And what we're going to do is we're going to give that an offset over here on the right-hand side. The one that looks like a star. You already have this clicked to select it. Now you're going to click offset. And you can drag this down. We don't want that deep of an offset. We really want just a very, very small offset. Right about right there. Okay, so about 0.045. Click apply. Okay, now we're going to move this, our main piece, out of the way because we want to select all of this and then right click and make a compound path. You want that all to be one single layer. Okay, and then we'll just do that real light color so that we can still see it. Click your line type, get rid of the line type. Okay, and now for this, the first thing you want to do is you want to trace this because you only want the outside. So I'm gonna, the one that looks like a butterfly, select trace area, select, okay, and then you're gonna click trace outer edge. Okay, and that's all you want there is just your outer edge. And then what you're going to do with that is you are going to then offset that because you only want the offset of that outer edge. Okay, so what was this one again? 0.045, I think. Is that right? Yeah, that looks about right. So we'll go ahead and apply that. And then we'll turn that same grayish color. Get rid of that line. Can move this out of the way. We actually do not need that anymore, so we can get rid of that. Okay, and then take this and kind of center them together how you're going to want it. You don't have to get that perfect, and see where the F is touching the firefly just a little bit. That is not going to be a huge deal as long as it's just the very, very edge of that offset touching one another. Okay, and then select both, right click, make compound path. That makes it a single layer. Now this is, so I made this. This is ink blots. It's an ink blot set that I bought. Super pretty. They're watercolor ink blots. I changed it into a single color so that I could get that, because that's all we really need for this part of it. But if you were sublimating, you could just leave those ink blots the colors they were. Or I'll show you in a little bit how you can actually make your ink blot, you know, whatever watercolor or whatever digital paper, any background that you want. But I'll link the ink blots that I used in the description. So I just took 3 of them and layered them together to make this shape. It was a good ink blot shape. So take this, make that bigger. About that size is perfect. And now if this happens to be, so if that is in the front like that, all you have to do is right click it, send it back, for anybody who doesn't know that. Okay, so now you're going to want to select both of these, and then you're going to go to your modify panel over here, the one with the rectangle and the circle. Click on that, and now you're going to divide. Okay, actually, you know what, I take that back. So, because I think that's making it more complex than it needs to be. So let's go back on that, and let's try selecting both and maybe just subtract all. That should work better. Just give it a second. Just takes a minute because that's a lot of information for it to take in at once. So while we're waiting, I'm going to link in the video description one of my Facebook groups. It's a CRICUT and Silhouette group. Super friendly. It's about maybe 180,000, 185,000 members at this point. Super friendly, super knowledgeable. Join us there. We'd love to have you. We do tutorials pretty regularly. Just a great group. You'll fit right in. So join us there. Let's get rid of this now. Okay, so now you see how that left just the background. Now, if you're going to cut, that's all there is to it. That's literally all you have to do. So you would cut. Let's get that perfect. So you would take, I personally, because I'm a little bit extra, I would cut the black out of Black Glitter HTV, and then I would cut, so I'd cut all of that out of Black Glitter HTV, and then I would cut this background. I would cut that out of the Watercolor HTV, and that's it. That's literally all there is to it. It's that easy. Let me show you how that will look in the Watercolor HTV. So. And this would also be if you're going to do it, if you're going to sublimate it, this is how you would get that background, you know, splot to be the ink splot, to be the to be that watercolor if you were using digital paper. So I'm going to, actually I'm not going to do anything with that. I'll leave that just the way it is. So this right here, this is pretty. It is actually super pretty. It is, this is the watercolor. So I'm actually going to make this, this design. I'm going to make this, and that's what I'll show you guys in the groups. But this right here is absolutely beautiful watercolor HTV that I'm going to have to size this down a little bit. So this watercolor HTV, unfortunately, it is out of stock. I found it the other day, and I showed it to the groups, and I showed it to so many of our groups, and people loved it so much that they bought all of it, and there's none left. So I got a hold of the lady on Amazon who sells this HTV, and it will be back in stock soon. So I'm going to link this one in the description, and it's way prettier in real life than this is. It's way prettier in real life. It's beautiful. So this one will be back soon. But if you're not willing to wait for this one to be back, click on the link and then click on her shop name. She has another super pretty watercolor that's currently in stock. I just really, really like this one. So send that to the back, and then let me see what the, actually, I'm trying to think what the best way to do this is, because this is going to be a more complex image. So let's see, maybe divide. No, see, there's just too much there. Let's see, let's try to send that to the back, and then maybe, so let's send this to the back, and then maybe if I subtract, no, it didn't work. I just want to show for everybody. I mean, you already understand. You're already set. If you're just going to cut this in HTV, that's all you have to do. It's that simple. But I want to show. I want to show everybody who. Okay, so that's okay-ish. I want to show everybody who is going to do it, and show everybody who's going to do this in sublimation. How it's going to look. There you go. Ah, how pretty is that? Super, super, super pretty, super easy. So, I mean, really, that's all there is to it. This right here, you could send that to cut, or send that to print and cut, and then go, you don't even have to cut it. Send it to print and then press it if you're doing sublimation. But I mean, that's really all there is to it. It's such an easy technique. And as far as I know, I haven't seen anybody else do this. I totally came up with this by accident because I got this HTV and just loved it and wanted to find something neat to do with it. And I got this idea and I just love it. So that's it. That's all there is to it. Like I said, so join us on Facebook. I will link this font in the description. Highly recommend it, especially when it's this cheap right now in the bundle. I'll link the Dragonfly. Highly recommend that also. I'll link the splots that I used, the ink blots. I'll link this HTV. And I guess that's about it. Make sure you do like the video. Make sure you subscribe so you get the notifications. And I hope you have a good day. Bye.